We like to follow Jesus when it's easy. We like to follow him when it's sunshine and roses, when it's consolation, when it's the resurrection. We don't like to follow him when it's the cross, when it's suffering. Kind of like for marriage vows, for better or worse, richer, poorer, health, sickness. We prefer the positive ones, like for richer, for better, and in health, not the for poorer, for worse, and in sickness side of things. This is the first in a many-part series I'm going to do on Dietrich Bonhoeffer's book, The Cost of Discipleship, because it's really good as far as books go. He was a German theologian, he's Lutheran, and was martyred under the Nazis. Now, interestingly enough, he had fled the country, but realized that he was called back to be there. He's like, I can't be part of the reconstruction of the church in Germany if I have not been in Germany while it's being destroyed. That's not exactly how he said it, but basically something like that. Throughout the book, Bonhoeffer talks about what it means to be a disciple, so what it means to follow Jesus. And one of his themes that I'm going to focus on for this video is cheap grace versus costly grace. Cheap grace has forgiveness without repentance. It cheapens the gospel. It doesn't cost me anything. And so it's very easy. And there's sort of this tendency sometimes of like, if you're trying to preach the gospel of, well, let's make it as easy as possible and people will come. But it usually has the opposite effect. They don't come, and then if they do, they don't care. Contrast that with costly grace. Costly grace costs me everything. It costs me my life. But also, it costs Jesus his life to get me that grace. Cheap grace attempts to look only at what we would call the nice side of things. Costly grace looks at all of it. Costly grace does have the resurrection, but it also has the cross. The call of a disciple is to follow Jesus as a person, which means it's all of the things that happened to him, which includes both cross and resurrection. That's all I'm really going to talk about for this week's video. Next week will be another thing related to Cost of Discipleship. Like I said, it's a very good book. I definitely had to take notes, and also I'm going to revisit this book later because I read it kind of fast because I had to return it to the library and there was a hold on it from someone else. Anyway, stay tuned for next week. If you want to make sure you don't miss the video, if you're watching this on YouTube, there is a subscribe button down here. You click it and then it notifies you whenever the video is happening. If you are on Facebook or on my website, I guess this one only applies to my website. If you're on my website, you can sign up for my email list and you get an email. If you're on Facebook, you can click like on the page. The problem is it doesn't automatically notify you. So I would recommend go to the website, type in your email, you get a free ebook for filling it out, and then you don't miss next week's video on Cost of Discipleship. P.S. Be a hero today.